It's been an exciting week here at Spring Farm Care's Nature Sanctuary. We're about midway through turkey hunting season here in New York. Fortunately, there hasn't been much commotion from hunters on neighboring properties. While the toms are busy lekking in the fields, this northern flicker is excavating a cavity to nest in. He will make the entrance hole about 3 inches in diameter. Then the rest of the nest will be about 13 to 16 inches deep, widening toward the bottom to make room for the eggs and the incubating parent. The nest will be a bare cavity, with exception for the wood chip lining. If eggs are successfully hatched, the chicks will spend the first couple weeks of their lives on the ground of the nest. Then, after about 2.5 weeks, they will cling to the walls of the nest, and within about 4 weeks, they will be fledged. Gray catbirds have been very prevalent this week. Occasionally, one will overwinter up north. A few have returned to New York in earlier weeks, but this week their numbers are abundant. They are more often heard singing in shrubs and thickets than they are seen, but occasionally they will be clearly visible high in a tree. Their song consists of musical and mechanical phrases. The phrases can be repeated, but are usually not. And sometimes they even mimic other birds. The catbirds are, however, named for the meow-like call they give, as heard in this next clip. That is a catbird's call in the background. It is not the common yellow throat that is seen here. The yellowthroat song is a witchetty, witchetty, witchetty. The two bird species are often found in similar habitats, in shrubs and fields. This striking bird is a magnolia warbler, a male in full breeding plumage. He is just passing through, though, on his way up north to breed. They nest in small conifers. The name is a bit of a misnomer. The ornithologist who first described this bird, Alexander Wilson, just happened to see his first magnolia warbler in a magnolia tree. The sanctuary was fortunate enough to host 3 Cape May warblers for nearly half the week. They have been sighted here before, but not for several years, and never 3 at once. Their typical song is 4 or more high notes that do not change pitch, and is often described as seet, 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 seet. Males in breeding plumage, such as this one, are easily recognized by their rufous face, framed in yellow, the stark white wing patch, and the neat black streaks on a yellow chest. during migration, they may consume nectar and fruit juices. However, as with other warblers, they are mainly insectivorous. As the leaves are growing in, the forest is growing cooler and shadier, but most certainly not quieter. The ovenbirds seem to be the most raucous of the forest dwellers. It is difficult to go anywhere in the forest without hearing their song. However, they conceal themselves very effectively behind the foliage. Some of our beavers are starting to come out earlier in the evening. But more unexpectedly, we saw a chipmunk out here on the island. We suspect it was in the middle of the dam and then ran into trouble in both directions, so had to make a swim for it. And after several minutes, he made his retreat back to shore.
There it goes.
And then down in the secret beaver pond, these tiny transparent fish have shown up. For size comparison, the hemlock needles floating in the pond can be used. I suspect they're fathead minnows, since there's a school lingering about 3 feet away. On the other side of Secret Pond are water boatmen. This family of true bugs holds about 120 species in North America. About the only requirement they have for the water they live in is that it is not flowing. Their long, oar-like hind legs allow for quick spurts of erratic motion, which are often followed by long resting periods. With their spoon-like forelimbs, they stir up the sediment in search of food. They are generalists and will eat items such as algae, diatoms, small insects, nematodes, and so on. Their leathery wings allow them to trap air, which can be used as a scuba tank. They are also strong flyers and often attracted to lights in the night. In the man-made pond, the eastern newts are breeding. The female will lay 200 to 400 eggs attached to vegetation. After about 3 to 8 weeks, the eggs will hatch. And then by fall, the larvae will have metamorphed into their juvenile stage, the red eft. The red efts will move into the woods and stay there for 2 to 3 years. After this time, they will move back to the pond, transform into the adult form seen here, and it is this stage in which they will live out the rest of their 15-year lifespan. And it appears that the water striders are also breeding right now. there's been a handful of unidentified mystery insects found, including these eggs on the cherry tree. But then on other cherries, these tents of the tent caterpillar moth have been noticed. Hopefully some cuckoos will be attracted to them. Butterflies have been more active, and these flower flies have been everywhere. It's good to see honeybees, given all the bad news buzzing through the media. And there's been some beautiful beetles about, such as this three-banded lady beetle and this calligrapha beetle. But moving on to the plant kingdom, Canada violets are in bloom, as well as buttercups, wild geranium, Indian cucumber root is getting close, not to be confused with the bedstraw it may superficially resemble. And a closer look at jack-in-the-pulpits will reveal a striking design. Some ferns are still coming in, while others are looking better than ever, including the one example of broad beach fern that we have. And we also found this cord glaze moss we did not know we had. The buckeye trees are really starting to look impressive. With exception of a few red oaks and swamp roses, the 700 trees we had ordered are now planted. It's been another fine week at the sanctuary, and as always, we're excited about the next.